Who in the world is this woman? Where was she found? She's simply a bundle of financial struggles, Mom. What are you trying to convey? This is quite disrespectful. Kindly cease this action. You mentioned there's someone you'd like me to contact. Yes, me? I assumed she would be a socialite of some sort. However, the woman is dressed impeccably, yet her nails resemble those of an elderly woman and she is wearing minimal makeup. She is not a woman. She has completed the task. I completely forbid you from marrying this individual. Hush, this is well received by individuals. Individuals experiencing financial hardship. They trigger my allergies. Please leave immediately. Hey, you're taking things too far. Enough. This is disgraceful. That will suffice. I am thrilled to announce that Natalie and I are getting married. I am the one who will be getting married. I won't allow any complaints. Natalie, that's great. Hi, I'm Natalie. After 2 years of dating, James popped the question. We have been preoccupied with work and haven't had the chance to introduce our parents to each other. I visited James's parents' home to share the news of our engagement. And lo and behold, this occurred. I was devastated by the poor beginning. It appears that James's mother has her sights set on him marrying a wealthy woman. It seems there was quite a bit of conflict when James's older brother married James. We deliberated on the next steps. That day was the start of the phone bombardment for my mother-in-law. Are you seriously considering marrying James? Sure thing. I am eager to begin a family. Do you think starting a family with James is out of the question? Allow me to clarify. James, born into wealth, and you, from a humble background, are worlds apart. It's akin to a homeless individual marrying a celebrity. That's great. It's definitely not possible. James shows great promise as a candidate. He has attended private schools since elementary school, so he has always been surrounded by affluent individuals. He sees your poverty and considers it a novelty. You're simply deceiving him. I am not being dishonest with him. I adored James despite his lack of wealth. Ha ha ha. That's quite amusing. Falling in love with James is not an option for you. Please remove yourself at once. Are you implying that you're not willing to approve of our marriage? At last. Understood. I've been emphasizing that since the start. You should receive severance pay. First time attending your class. What about just 1 quarter? Listening to my mother-in-law. It felt like a relentless display of disrespect, leaving me drained of the will to retaliate. When I informed James about this, without hesitation, he dialed his mother's number. Hey Mom, what was your conversation with Natalie about? What's the matter? I simply shared the honest facts with her. James, you've reached an age where you can handle this. Have you thought about the idea of an arranged marriage? Haven't I already declined the discussion about arranged marriage? I am the one who is getting married. I am committed to marrying only Natalie. Please refrain from contacting Natalie in the future. Just a moment, James. Speaking to your mother in that manner is not acceptable. Rise and shine. What in the world? I'm indifferent to your words. Furthermore, refrain from treating Natalie as if she lacks wealth. Is there an issue with contacting someone who is financially struggling? Are you experiencing financial difficulties? Being raised by humble parents does not define a person's worth. This advice is meant to benefit you in the long run. Consider it for a moment. No need to marry Natalie. Just let us be. James had a heated disagreement with my mother-in-law. Realizing I was relieved that my mother-in-law's attack wasn't over so quickly, feeling anxious about whether getting married in the state was a wise decision, James and I have decided to tie the knot without a formal ceremony. We must register our marriage. It was decided that we would no longer visit his family's home. And just like that, the calls from my mother-in-law came to a sudden halt. Life as a newlywed brought me joy and contentment. Approximately a year later, we received an invitation to celebrate my father-in-law's long-lasting relationship, an event we couldn't miss. We joined the festive dinner. My father and I have always been fond of a luxurious French restaurant and had a long-standing connection with the owner, who had arranged a reservation for our meal. Oh, you're running behind schedule. We are punctual, so it's inaccurate to claim we are tardy. Well, Dad, congratulations on becoming a father-in-law. Congratulations. Hailing from Georgia. Yes, you? Thank you for your message. No need to worry about it. Oh, I appreciate it very much. Wow, this is fantastic. Everything that matters. Shall we raise our glasses? It seems that we celebrated. While we were having our meal, I anticipated that the discussion would become more lively once you both have a child and you continue working. Struggling with household chores? You are not successful as a woman. We had a discussion and made a decision about that, James and I. Considering leaving my job once I start a family. Be quiet. A century ago to speak up, this is the reason I dislike individuals with limited financial resources. Once more, the deluge of complaints poured in. Next, during the lavish family dinner, my mother-in-law made a comment about me in Jeff's report. I found myself acting without awareness. Hi, Mom, what are you up to? Please cease this immediately. This woman makes it impossible for me to enjoy a meal. If you comprehend and depart promptly, you poor soul. Even the brother-in-law and wife who had come over were taken aback by my mother-in-law's attitude towards my father-in-law. But a single word triggered a surprising chain of events that left everyone speechless. I remained silent, yet I reached my breaking point. Natalie, what is the reason for your strong dislike towards me? It's quite straightforward. It's likely due to financial constraints. The very thought of sharing the same air makes me cringe. You certainly have a lot to say, don't you? You react strongly to your own financial situation. You spent your childhood in an orphanage, after all. Excuse me? I'm sorry, I don't understand. I hail from a family of means. Avoid fabricating information due to financial constraints. Your parents originated from a humble background. One fateful day, they found themselves in a car crash. They have departed. And you found yourself in an orphanage. Be quiet. I am not that way. You've always dreamed of living a luxurious lifestyle. Your parents passed away, causing significant damage to the company. Have you fully embraced the lifestyle of a wealthy woman yet? Absolutely correct. Yes, absolutely. This woman is not telling the truth. Please remove her immediately. Have you met Mrs. Sally from Brooklyn? The mother of my closest friend. Sure thing. Brooklyn resident named Sally. Hi, I'm Sally from Brooklyn. Shares the same name as the wife of our company's president. Indeed. The president's spouse. My pal. Their daughter had been working abroad, and we didn't see each other frequently when I visited her place after a while. Her mother was present, and our conversation shifted to my marriage. Later, Sally from Brooklyn shared that she was raised in an orphanage. And guess what? She resided in identical orphanages. Are you referring to your mother-in-law? That is simply not true. There is no evidence to support that. I was taken aback. It's surprising to hear about your childhood, with growing up in poverty, losing your parents, and being placed in an orphanage. I haven't received any information on this. Could you provide a more detailed explanation? Was I deceived when we got married? Actually, it's not that way. What reason do you have to heed the words of that woman? Clearly not the truth. Please cease this immediately. Dishonest individual. It was at the moment a woman entered the scene. Your organization skills could use a little polish, displaying a complete lack of courtesy. You are consumed by material wealth. It lacks the capacity to learn. May I know who I am speaking with? This reservation is private. I hail from Brooklyn. It's been a while since we last met. We haven't seen each other since we departed from the orphanage. Where is Sally from? Of course. Have you forgotten already? We made a promise back in the orphanage, didn't we? Seeking to find a wealthy man to live a life of luxury. Marrying the company president made my dream a reality. My husband is aware of my background growing up in an orphanage, and I have always been dedicated to him. I am filled with nothing but gratitude. Isn't that correct, James? You're quite familiar with this, aren't you? Hello, Madam President. It's great to see you. Absolutely, I do. You two are quite the affectionate couple, and your relationship is well known around the office. I have always held you in high regard. It's truly impressive, considering what a wonderful son you are. What were you up to? Have you been engaging in deceitful behavior? Enough already. Please cease this behavior. Can you just leave? No way. I can't just stand by when my daughter's best friend is in a pinch. You've been doing unnecessary things like that for a long time. Stop interfering. I've just come to share the truth. Is it better to tell the truth? You must be joking, right? Just leave. My mother-in-law's face turned pale as she watched. Right in front of her was her former best friend from my time at the facility. And then Barbara continued her story. Jasmine was wayward since middle school, skipping school, hanging out with the wrong crowd, getting scolded when caught. Stop it, please. Lack of enthusiasm for high school, barely attending classes, going through guys from the local gang. It was rumored that she was a wicked woman who couldn't say no. Stop it. Moreover, when you mention Razor Jasmine, there is nobody who didn't know a winning gang leader, a figure that was avoided and not approached parents who weren't there to keep her in check. It was impossible for such a horrid woman to marry. It was like you married the CEO of Cornerstone Real Estate. Quite the scam. Hey, what does this mean? What do you have to say for yourself? I haven't heard any of this. A company party. Didn't she complain about feeling unwell? I don't think she's ever attended. She's just a who's gangster. Her real nature would soon be exposed. That's why she has the nerve to be a con artist. So that's why you always felt ill when it came to parties? I thought it was strange, but this is the reason it's not true. Please listen to me. There's no need to listen to your stories. No way. Barbara just told us the truth. I don't want to hear any of your lies. Please don't bully Natalie after all. Her father is a major shareholder of our company. There's no way a major shareholder can live in such an old apartment. Major shareholder? You must know the architect, Mr. Brandon. So what? That's irrelevant now? Leave already? Brandon is Natalie's father, huh? What exactly are you trying to convey? Brandon is a globally recognized figure who reportedly resides in a grand mansion situated on expansive mountainous terrain. The woman's father resides in a modest apartment. It's simply an older apartment he purchased many years back. His usual workplace is nestled in the mountains, rarely venturing elsewhere. Things aren't going as planned. Behold this chair. She displayed a photo on her smartphone that gained attention when I entered the world. My mother-in-law was taken aback when she saw this. Oh goodness, could this be a picture of you as a baby? Your name is Natalie. Do you think I am? Were you entertained by mocking me? Finances are not related to marriage. To be a couple, having a sincere heart is essential. What's the matter? What is the reason behind this? Why didn't you provide information about my parents' financial status? Staying true to myself, those insults you hurled my way will always stick with me. Kindly refrain from making that statement. Feeling unable to overlook everything that had happened, I found myself speaking up to my mother-in-law. Simply reading the same year as less fortunate individuals can trigger allergies during a marriage proposal. Despite donning a high-fashion dress created by a renowned designer. You mentioned it was inexpensive and of low quality. Marrying James is akin to marrying a celebrity and marrying a homeless person? Is the severance money you mentioned paying for a proposal only worth a quarter? Well, that's it. You tend to assess individuals according to your personal biases. If a family has money, anyone will do. This mindset is truly uncivilized. Stop with the gibberish. Emotions overwhelmed me as tears began to fill my eyes. And the story doesn't end there. I was aware. I was informed about your comments by Carrie prior to our wedding. In addition, my parents emphasized that happiness is not determined by wealth. You can rely on it as your loyal companion. Have faith in yourself, Natalie. It's no surprise you still want to marry me. I can empathize with your situation, mother-in-law. If you lose, your parents may face financial difficulties and need to be placed in a facility. That situation would drive anyone to madness. That's why I aim to strengthen our family connections through marriage to assist in healing your emotional scars. I was even prepared to reside with you for that. I was completely unaware of your background. If you don't provide me with the necessary information, it's difficult for me to comprehend. You offended me prior to us being able to have that discussion. I had intended to keep this to myself, considering your struggle, but I reached my limit. That's the reason tears streamed down my face. And then there's James. Natalie, my apologies. I should have had a clearer understanding of your perspective. I regret not being able to protect you better. Natalie, I apologize. You are my one and only. I believe in destiny, Natalie. Thanks, Natalie. What a predicament it put you in. Could you also apologize, please? I apologize, father-in-law. No need to apologize. You're quite the gentleman. Thanks, Natalie. Despite intending it as a special dinner for my father-in-law, it turned into a disappointing experience, leaving me feeling extremely remorseful. My mother-in-law abruptly departed the scene after losing her composure. She was left undisturbed. She was eventually asked to leave by my father-in-law, agreed to a divorce, and departed the house with no family for support. My mother and I likely had to completely restart her life from the beginning. Starting off must have been quite challenging. Concerned about my father-in-law's well-being, I chose to move in with him and resign from my job. Above all, I was thrilled to be expecting. In merely 6 months, I'll be embarking on the journey of parenthood. My father and I were filled with joy. We phoned Barbara to join in the celebration. I am grateful for the opportunity to nurture a child within a supportive family environment. James, we need to put in more effort for our future child.